you've watched your dad do law as a Christian, as you part of your Christian societies as well as your law societies. What does it mean for you to hold those together? Like, what does it look like to be a Christian within law?
Yeah.
Gorgeous question.
Gorgeous question. You
Thanks,
took
Joel.
the words right out of my mouth. Look, I feel like I probably don't have as great of an understanding as like someone like my dad would probably be able to answer that, purely just because I'm still like very bottom of the barrel. I do what I'm told to. I think
Not in our eyes, Aurelia.
think
Top of the barrel,
That's
think
right.
floating at the top,
Floating at the top.
like an apple, ready to be bobbed.
wow, oh, I feel so loved. I think like workplaces in general are such an amazing place to kind of like be a Christian. And yeah, just like kind of bring God into that part of your life. How I do that, awesome question.
Not even gorgeous. It's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Is that a step up or a step down from gorgeous?
Maybe a step sideways.
Sideways.
I was going to say,
Sideways.
yeah, I think it's sideways.
Yeah. Synonymous.
Synonymous. Nice.
Sorry.
That's a synonymous question. I appreciate it.
I think I get just like really excited about God in general. And so I love to talk about it all the time. A lot of my conversations were with other clerks. So just chatting about church, chatting about my beliefs, chatting about why I have certain kind of like approaches to things or like stances on kind of different things that everyone was doing. Like there's a bit of party culture sometimes, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna necessarily join into that extent. Why? I don't think that's how the Bible calls me to live. So there are kind of like opportunities for like conversation starters there. I think the last few weeks that I was at Cal Clark, my best friend got a job there too, which was amazing. She is a strong Christian who I met like at our campus Bible study at uni. So that was like also then kind of cool because we would just like bounce off each other. And I think like a big part of like, particularly like me and her's friendship, because like we have friends together then at work, at uni, like in class, and then we have had friends like outside of both of those things together as well, is just, we just made it really normal. So like the fact that we were at church together multiple times was just like a really normal part of our life. It's like we'd like just ask people if we could be praying for them. And so I think it just kind of makes people think about it a little bit more, where a lot of people wouldn't think about God at all. They're like, oh, there are like these two people my age that are doing the same thing as me, that are just going to church all the time, and they're just like really kind, and they're like happy to like ask how they can be praying for us. And so I think like that's kind of something, it's not like necessarily specific to law itself. And I'm sure that there would be a lot of space for that, because lawyers can sometimes be maybe argumentative. I'm trying to think of like a friendly way to say this. Difficult sometimes.
We have a large audience of lawyers.
Yeah, yes. They can sometimes just be a little bit challenging. And so I think as I kind of go into that space, it would be a goal to just really embody the love of Christ.
Does it shape how you do your job? Like in terms of actually doing lawyer tasks? I mean, there's this whole idea of justice, right, in the Bible.
Yep.
Does it shape, do you think it shapes how you're thinking about that?
Probably not in the work that I've done. I think there would be a lot of space for that in a lot of different areas of law.
Yeah.
I mean, at the local firm that I was at, for the longest amount of time, I was writing wills. So there was not a lot of room for kind of justice there.
You think I'm thinking of bouncing off the same idea as the Old Testament word is, the Hebrew word is shalom. Like it's just bringing a sense of wholeness and rightness to the world.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is ultimate in new creation. But like we're called to bring shalom, peace.
Yeah.
And so even in the writing of wills, like the right people get the right things, that the person's will it gets honoured. The wording is clear. Yeah, the intentions are, you know, all those kind of things. I just think there's a lot of shalom that the good lawyering actually brings to the world. Yeah. In across all of these, you know, whether it's corporate or wills or you know, acquisitions or whatever it is, like the idea of bringing rightness to the world, I think is really cool. I think it's a really great way of bringing the kingdom on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah. That's such a beautiful way to look at it.
That's probably changed your understanding of it.
Yeah, I'm taking it and I'm rolling with it. That's
bringing
great.
it straight into the court. I wonder if there was something else.
Your Honour.
Straight into
shalom.
What is it? What's the chambers? Yeah, straight into the chambers. You know, where the judge. Stuff like that. I was trying to think of a word like that, but
no, that's okay.
My brain wasn't working fast
and
enough.
That's okay.
Need to litigate against my lawyer speak. So now that you're traveling, tell me about Cambridge. That'd be interesting.
Cambridge. So I did only.
Tim's heading off because he's got a meeting.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. But it's just me. I'm gonna change microphones. I'm gonna get a bit more comfortable.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, perfect.
How's that? You can't see this on the video. That's why I can do this. I'm just lounging on the chair right now.
Great.
We're bringing. I want to hear about the Cambridge vibes.
The Cambridge vibes.
Was it as relaxed as I am right now?
Yeah, kind of.
Was it?
Yeah. So I was only at Cambridge for 2 weeks. But I will make it sound like it was longer.
Because you enjoyed it?
Yeah. And it's just, I just write like summer intensive on the CV, which is what it was. But like it was 2 weeks. I did a future leaders lab.
Okay.
At the Muller Institute in the Churchill College. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was for one of the 2 weeks, the actual Cambridge students weren't on campus. So it was like quite quiet, but like the town itself, beautiful, like so cool. And I remember like our first night there, we did a guided tour walking throughout the town, and like you're just walking and they were like, oh, you know, this is where the first atom was split in this building.
Wow.
And they were like, oh, this is the apple tree outside Isaac Newton's bedroom where he was sitting when he
figured out gravity or whatever.
Gravity.
Yeah.
And they're like it's just like the coolest things. They were like, oh, this is like the first live stream was ever done here.
Really?
Yep. And it was just because they had a kettle in a building, and then the other like academics were in a different different level, and they wanted to be able to check when their kettle was boiled. And so they created a live stream.
Really?
And so it's just like all of these things where I was like, this is like awesome. Just like really cool people have done really cool things here.
Yeah.
And like now I'm like here and like learning.
Walking the halls.
I'm walking the halls.
Treading the boards.
We kind of like snuck into Trinity College as well while we were there. I think it was Trinity, which was just like awesome.
Are you not allowed in there?
No, not really.
Okay.
Like it's kind of like students can go in there, and then like visitors have to like pay during opening hours. But we were like, hey, we're like exchange students, and like we had our little IDs, and they were like, yeah, okay, you guys can go. And it was like,
so it wasn't really sneaking in.
It wasn't like sneaking in, because like we spoke to security, but we definitely like weren't meant to be there. They were just like being nice and like letting us go in. So that was cool. It was also just like, it was just like a lot of fun as well. Like it was like all UNSW students that went. There was like 20 of us, maybe.
From lawying? Law?
No, all interdisciplinary. So I was there with one of my besties from high school. Me and her went together, and she's like crazy smart science person.
Okay.
There were a handful of law students though, but yeah, all interdisciplinary. And it was like, it was a lot of work. Like we were in class like 9 to 5 every day that we were there, which is also the amount of time that the sun is up for. So it was like we were only like out in darkness, but it was great. We would just like all hang out together. We would hit the uni bar for a 3 pound pint after class and have dinner in like the big dining halls, like Harry Potter style.
Oh, is it?
And then we'd just like do like cheese and like charcuterie and nibbles in someone's like room.
It's just like we just do cheese.
We just do cheese.
Just cheese.
Just cheese. We just ate
different
cheese.
types of cheeses.
Yeah.
Cheese board. Charcuterie. Like
Cheese board. Charcuterie. Yes, that was like the vibe, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, there was a lot of late nights, not a lot of sleep that happened because it was kind of like we just wanted to hang out all the time.
You're on tour.
Yeah. And so then we were like, oh wait, but we still have all of these big assessments to do. Like we had assessments to do before we arrived. So that was like, I was in London for like the 5 days before I went to Cambridge. And so like my friend and I that were traveling, we'd like be doing all of the tourist stuff. We'd get back at like 11 and then we'd like do 3 hours of work, sleep and wake up at like 6:30 the next day to like get back on with all of the tourist things. So it was just like no sleep at all. And then we had to do like a big presentation while we were there. So it was a Future Leaders Lab, but it was on the SDGs, so the UN Sustainable Developmental Goals. And we were
Sustainable Development Goals, that's what SDGs is.
Yeah, yep. And we were looking specifically at one of the numbers, maybe 11, I don't know, sustainable cities and communities, whatever number that is, I can't remember. And so we had to like come up with these big presentations and like pitch it to all of these like really important academics from Cambridge. And I was like, this is terrifying.
How'd you go?
Oh,
full marks.
full marks. Obviously. No, I don't know. I obviously got an HD in the subject.
Oh,
so like it was
why did you say obviously?
Obviously?
Why did you say?
I obviously got an H. To be fair though, I think it was just like marked really easy and it doesn't even matter because it doesn't count towards my degree.
Yeah, but it went on your resume.
Yeah, you know, and I'm like, that's
definitely got a high distinction in this. Obviously.
I'm like, that wasn't a lie. If anyone's looking at my CV, the when that I wrote under Cambridge was not a lie. No, it was pretty easy, and it was also just like a presentation. I think the standards weren't that high because it was not the best caliber of work I've ever achieved. Considering
you were doing touristy things for at least 4 hours a day.
Yeah, like and then like, well, the presentation, I actually submitted that 15 minutes late because I still got a HD. I had been up all night trying to finish this, and I'd been throwing up the whole night because I was actually at that point of exhaustion. Like I couldn't function. I'd been like on the phone to my mom and I was like, and I'd fallen asleep at like maybe 6 a.m. and then woke up at 8:10 to my friend calling, being like, did you get it in? Did you get it in? And I was like,
not yet.
No. And it was due at 8 a.m. So I was like, at the same time, I was like texting the coordinator that was there with us. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I've been so unwell. It's late. I like just put it in now. Like, and she was like, oh, that's fine. Do you want to present tomorrow? And I said, no. I will present today if it's the last thing that I do. Because like we had like our little like grad celebration that night, and I was like, I don't want to just like have to think about getting up for class tomorrow. I was like, that's not what I want to do. And so I presented anyway after like getting 2 hours of sleep and throwing up all night.
Okay.
And then we had like one more assessment to do, like kind of like a review afterwards, which I submitted from Iceland.
Oh.
Maybe it was Paris. I can't remember if I submitted in Paris or if I submitted after I flew to Iceland.
Wow. That was after the Cambridge tour?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Iceland like? Iceland. I've never been to Iceland.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was like one of the coolest things I've ever done.
Really?
I hiked up a glacier
Whoa.
in the middle of a snowstorm
Okay.
as the sun was setting.
Oh, really?
It was just like the coolest thing I've ever done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Full movie.
Full movie like.
Yeah, I didn't see the Northern Lights though.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know.
Would have been cool.
Would have been cool.
Just the wrong time.
No, just like bad weather. So there was like light activity, but the cloud was too thick to be able to see, which I thought like would have been a lot more disappointing because I didn't know what was in Iceland. And so it was like, oh, I'm going to see the Northern Lights. And then I didn't. But I actually like didn't care because like all of the things that I did do were so cool that I was like, nope, it's all good.
So many travel stories. So then when do you came back after that trip to Australia for a bit?
Yeah.
Then you went to Eindhoven.
Yeah. So that was maybe 4 months later.
Okay.
5 months later, I went to Eindhoven.
Yeah.
Well, I did Amsterdam, Prague, Vienna, Munich, Salzburg, and then flew
The Danube.
back up to... Where did I fly back up to? I flew back up to Amsterdam, but then caught the train out to Rotterdam and stayed there, which is where my opa grew up.
Oh, that's cool. So did you get to see kind of
Yeah, we
a bit
like
of family history there?
we went and like found his house that he grew up in.
Oh, that's cool.
And we like took selfies in front of the house on his street. And
Did you feel like a certain connection to being that area? Because I think about it, so my one part of Karen's family, half of it is Latvian.
okay,
And so I think it'd be fun to go and take the kids to Latvia one day.
yeah.
Did you feel like there was a connection to that through your grandfather?
We kind of joked about it a bit, but like not really. It was like we stepped off the train in Rotterdam, and so we'd already been in the Netherlands like earlier in the trip.
For the Robo Cup?
For the Robo Cup,
Okay.
yeah. So Riley had been there longer, like a week longer than Matilda and I. But yeah, when we got off the train in Rotterdam, we were like, we were expecting to just be able to like speak fluent Dutch, and we
We'll just get it. We'll just get it.
Yeah, we're like it'll
It's in the genes.
It'll just come to us.
It's in our blood.
It'll come to us, and it didn't.
Why are we so delusional about this? This is what I don't understand.
I mean, we didn't actually think that, but we were kind of like joked about it. We were like, it'll be. We'll just know.
You and Matilda, we'll just get it.
Yeah, we just get it.
Was Riley the same?
Yeah, of course. We were all just like, it'll just.
Oh yeah.
It'll just make sense. And then there was also like when we were like walking to try and find Opa's place, we're like, we don't need maps. We don't need the maps. We'll know the way.
What?
Which, to be fair, we kind of just like, we didn't really use maps that much. We knew like the general vicinity because we'd looked it up, and then we didn't really have like strict plans for the day. So we were like, we can take the long way if we need. Like, it doesn't really matter. So we found
a bit of exploration.
Yeah, we found our way there without maps. So that was a strong connection.
Oh, we don't need a map either.
Yeah.
We know Rotterdam like the back of our hand.
Yeah, we know.
Even though it's our first time here.
Even though it's our first time, Farah was so connected to this place. But we actually only spent like 1 or 2 days actually in Rotterdam, and then we did a day trip to Antwerp in Belgium, which was great, and we did another day trip to Amsterdam because there were other things that we hadn't seen. It was on a Sunday that we did our day trip to Amsterdam, and so Riley and I got up early and got an hour train into Amsterdam first thing, and we went to a church there, which was like a little like English speaking Anglican church in Amsterdam, which was so cute. But it was the first time I'd taken like quote unquote proper communion, where it's like out of like the same, like with actual wine out of the same
cup.
Yeah. And I was like, this is crazy. Like Riley and I were looking at each other and we were like, what do we do? Like, we don't know how to do this. We've never done this before.
Yeah, right.
But that was
an
fun.
Experience anyway.
Yeah, it was great.
So that's Europe trip number 2.
Yeah.
So what's the next one? When you went for 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was mostly in London.
But what's that part of? How did you get?
So
do
that was
This is after getting a HD in the
so yeah,
in the Cambridge tour.
that was already on the CV. So then I applied. It was like one of those like random. I checked my emails, my uni emails, which if you know me,
I rarely do.
It's like I rarely do that. It's like if you know me, email is my preferred form of communication.
Is it?
Yes.
I apologise for booking you on Messenger.
Yeah. Next time, shoot me an email, please. I just like I respond the fastest on emails.
That is odd.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's so great. I check my emails so many times, but never my uni emails. It's just like all of my other emails.
It's such a contradiction.
All of my other emails I'm on top of, but my uni ones get like, because they just get like spammed with like random notifications from people posting things on random forums.
Oh, yeah, that is annoying.
And I'm just like, who cares?
Yep.
But this was a rare occasion where I checked my uni emails and it was like those random like career things or like opportunity. And I just saw the law faculty has this subject at King's College. And I was like, say less. I applied. And I like didn't even really know what it was, but I had like 17-year-old me had a dream of studying at King's College. I don't know why.
Like a genuine dream.
A genuine dream. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. As in like when I was like trying to think about what universities I wanted to go to, I looked at which universities were partnered with King's College so that I would be able to do exchange there.
How did you know about King's College to begin with then?
Well, I always really wanted to live in the UK.
Okay.
Or like do some kind of like exchange in the UK because I really enjoy listening to English accents. And so I'd like just like looked up a bunch of different like universities and I was like, how cool would London be? And then I'd found King's College and it's not the highest ranked university in London, like by any means, and particularly not England, but it's a bit prestigious because it's a bit old.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's sick. And so like for some reason I just became like enamored with the idea of going to King's College, which I then like abandoned when I got to university because it's a bit difficult to do exchange with law.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people who do law exchanges do it with their double degree subjects, which I also can't really do easily with psychology because it's all like accredited courses.
Was established in 1829, I just thought.
Yes. Yes.
That is quite old.
It's quite old.
What he said.
It's quite old, and on the Strand campus, like which is where I was, like the building says like to the friendship of English speaking peoples, and I was like, oh, awesome! It's giving white supremacy, but that's okay. That's okay.
I don't think it was saying that.
It was like in this day and age, that's what it's giving, but obviously
okay.
not at the time that it was built in.
You're just an English speaking friend.
I was an English speaking friend, but you know what? We had many friends there that weren't English speaking.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
So they're not allowed.
yeah, there was like more than half my course. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
get out. I mean, they all speak English, but like as their like fourth language.
Because I bet you they're from mainland Europe. They can
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
lots of languages.
exactly. But yeah, so I just had this idea. I was like, oh, I really want to study at King's College, which I'd forgotten about, and then I saw it, and so I applied the day that it was cut off. I like sent in my application, and then it would have been the next day. So it was like due on a Thursday, and then I checked my uni emails on the Friday night, actually during youth debrief. I like checked.
Rather unusual.
Yeah, rather unusual. I like opened it and I saw, and it was like because I actually wasn't eligible to do the program because you needed 96 units of credit of law subjects. And I was like 1 or 2 subjects short of that. And I was like, hey, is there any way? I was like, otherwise, like, can you count this other subject I've done, which is the one at Cambridge? I was like, maybe you can count the credits of that to go towards this because the credits I did there don't actually count towards my degree because I don't have free electives. I just did it for fun. And they were like, look, no, you still need to shuffle stuff around. But if you shuffle stuff around, it's yours. And I was like, great. And so the first person I told was Beck Wool. I was like, oh my goodness. And she's like, what does that mean? And I was like,
What does that mean?
and she was good. I hadn't really told anyone that I'd applied for this. And she was like, oh, what is that saying? And I was like, it means I'm going to like go to London for 6 months. And she was like, oh my gosh. So yes, then I had like the admin things that I had to do to arrange my other subjects so that I could fit all of my law subjects in before I left, so that I had the right amount of credits, which I was able to do.
Wow.
And then after I accepted, I was like, I should probably look at what I've just signed up for.
Yeah.
Which-
Say more now.
Pardon?
Let's say more now rather than say less.
Yeah.
Say more now, I'm in.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it was then CTLS is where I was studying.
There's so many acronyms in this podcast.
Centre for Transnational Legal Studies.
Okay.
And it was just transnational law. What is transnational law?
Yes. Thank you for asking the question I would ask you.
Yes. What is transnational
Are you
law?
just doing your own podcast now? Just on your own?
I'll take both
We're
minds.
rubbing you out of this, Joel. We've got rid of Tim, now it's Joel.
It is now time for my what's it called when it's just you speaking?
Monologue.
Yeah, I was about to say like soliloquy, and I was like, that's not what I was after. Monologue. No, transnational law is just essentially when like the law spills outside the border of a single country.
Yeah, right.
Which happens all the time because globalization.
Of course.
Of course. So it's like, what does that look like?
Globalization, my favourite subject.
Yes, let's talk about globalization. Let's talk about like industrialization. Let's talk about all of these things. No, so I had to do like a core subject of like what is transnational law, and that we had to do
Interpol. Just think about Interpol.
Interpol.
But the international police or whatever.
Yeah. We had to go to a bunch of like lectures.
At uni. Well, that's surprising.
Yes. From like guest lecturers come in and say things. But so it was
that
kind of
would
like,
have been interesting though, wouldn't it?
oh, it's so cool. Yeah.
Because like a guest lecturer, they're actually quite good at what they do.
Yes.
So
yeah.
it would have been good.
To be fair, like actually all of our lecturers are kind of guest lecturers. So
good.
in the way that the partner institutions would send different professors to take different elective subjects.
That's cool.
So we had like the two core ones that we had to do, which was like the random series of lectures, and then the actual like core, what is transnational law, which again like taught, I guess then like the other professors that we had taking the electives that you choose from are just like the coolest people ever in terms of like their fields. Like I did 3 electives. I did transnational contract law, which was a comparative contract class between civil law and common law. So my professor for that is Canadian. So she grew up in like not French speaking Canada, but then she did her bachelor's in Quebec, which is like French law, so civil law.
It's the French part of
and then she went and did another like master's in like common law. And so then she's just so qualified in this like cool space of like comparative contracts. And then I did a subject on insurance law. And again, my professor is like top of the field for marine insurance, which is, you'd think is a niche, right? But it's quite popular.
Marine endurance in terms of marine,
like ships, maritime.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, which is it was quite funny to me because that's actually what my sister is working in.
Okay.
And I had never heard of it. And then,
but that's because the ships are moving between lots of different countries and international waters and all that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. And there's like obviously a lot can go wrong with ships carrying cargo.
Yes.
So there's a lot of insurance involved.
Do you reckon they're quite busy at the moment,
Well,
given what's going on in Iran?
That's something that I was like talking to my sister about. I was like, is this like, are you busy? And she's like, oh, not my work at the moment. We don't do with a lot of imports and exports. But she's like, I could foresee it being a real issue for the industry in general. And I was like, there you go. And then I did another subject on the international institutions in times of crisis. Also quite pertinent.
Like on a UN.
Yeah. So UN Security Council, NATO,
yeah, right.
all of that, which was like there's just so much happening, which my professor, who's from the University of Turin in Italy, like so cool. He's like a military advisor to the Italian government.
Okay.
Like they all just like know so much stuff. And the professor that was taking our like core subject, he's been like very involved in like the UN and like their
That's cool.
and like their courts that they have. And I'm just like, sick, right? So cool. Like,
freaking sick.
they're just like, they're like little celebrities and like little like
They're like, shut up, Aussie around
law,
here.
yeah, like little like law politic brain me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are awesome. But yeah, the international institutions in times of crisis, in that subject, we'd start every class with TV news, where it was just like, okay, what have you seen in the news this week that's relevant to our course?
Okay.
And there's always just so much. It's crazy.
So is the appeal to the transnational law stuff like something that's real time going on, but it's like kind of on a global scale?
Yeah.
So then it's like, how do these people react to certain things?
Yeah.
And it's just like international law. It must be it's like that geopolitical thing, isn't it? It's like really fascinating, but you don't understand it very much unless you're really in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's kind of like different spaces between like international law is kind of, I think, a little bit more vague often, and is kind of like, a lot of people would argue, is international law even law? Even
a thing, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not enforceable at all. Whereas some aspects of like transnational law are a bit more enforceable in terms of like, that covers a bit more, and this could be gross misinformation, but it covers a little bit more of
That's what we deal in this podcast.
Yeah. It covers a little bit more of like the corporate side of it as well. So it's like, if you think like contracts and like all of the corporate stuff and like world trade law, so you have like economic law and stuff like that. So one of our co-directors, who is like leading economic law specialist in Georgetown in the States, while we were there, we broadcasted one of the Supreme Court cases against Trump's tariffs, because she'd like written amicus briefs about it. So it's just like, knows so much. And obviously that's like quite transnational still, even though it's like, and
it's not so much the political thing, it's like, what are the political ramifications of it?
Yeah, but it's also like, you kind of like can look at political parts, but it's still very much looking at the law. So you can kind of like, obviously the two are intertwined. Yeah. But is this legal? Yeah. Is kind of like, at least with the tariff situation, it's like ignoring like the politics and the ramifications. We can have people make their assessments about that, but it's like, are they actually legal? Are these within the powers to be happening? Yeah. So cool.
Sounds like you had a fun time in the London one.
Yeah, it was great.
Can I ask you, like, what do you think, you kind of talked about what you studied, but what was the highlight of being like living in, like you said, you were living by yourself?
I was living by myself.
You obviously felt like I'm guessing you probably had to grow up a fair bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also, I mean, you kind of think about even just when you turn 18, you're like, oh, I've got so much freedom. And then you're like, oh, what do I do with these freedoms?
Yeah.
And then I think about you, like, I'll just eat whatever I want. And then, and then you end up going, well, that's probably not a good idea. Yeah. So then you're like, got to learn how to cook. Yep. And stuff. Is that all what was involved? Plus being in a new city, not knowing many people.
I felt like I was pretty lucky in the sense that like before, like maybe for the 6 months before leaving, maybe not that long, I'd been pretty good with my meal prep. So I would like meal prep my own lunches. Nice. Which was great. It made life easier when I was going to work. Yeah. And it meant that I was always eating something that I liked, which was great. And so I kind of carried that over when I was in London. Mm-hmm. Now I like rarely ate out. I mean, I was eating out at church like 3 times a week. Right. And then apart from that, I was just meal prepping. Okay. Pretty much everything. Yeah, right. Which was great. I had like a little kitchen in my studio apartment. Although I couldn't, cooking and cleaning are 2 different jobs. And they needed to be done separately. So I would like cook my meal prep and then I'd leave everything in the sink. And I said, that's a tomorrow job.
Oh dear.
Yeah, which it's like, you know, I lived alone. I could just do it the next day and no one was going to know anything else, which was great. That was like a little joy.
Was none the wiser.
No one was anything the wiser. Yeah. But there was like a lot of growing up, I think.
What's the hardest thing in terms of growing up then? Because it sounds like the meal prep wasn't that much of an issue for you.
Yeah, well, it was just like that. I just had to look after myself all the time. Yeah. like, I was like, wow, this
How old were you?
Like 20, 21. I turned 22 while I was there.
Yeah.
Which was fun. I had a little birthday in the UK.
By yourself?
Yeah. No. I had a friend from Sydney move over to London about like a month after me. And we didn't know each other super well while we were in Sydney because we were kind of like had a mutual friend. Like the friend who I went to Cambridge with actually was like our mutual. So we hadn't seen each other in like maybe 2 years. But we'd carpooled to uni for a solid time. And so we'd caught up a couple times before my birthday, and then she was like, no, you're not doing your birthday alone, like we're going out for dinner. And then I messaged a bunch of the ladies from church as well, and I said, let's go just like have a drink. It was on like a Wednesday or something. No, not a Wednesday, it would have been like a Thursday, because Wednesday we were at church. And I was like, oh yeah, like if you want to just come and have a drink like for my birthday, because I was kind of like, maybe I just don't tell anyone and I just like carry on. And then I was like, no, I'll make a deal of it. And so I did make a deal of it, which was great. It was just so much fun. I was like, there was like a group of 7 of us. And I was like, what are the odds of this? It's just such a lovely time. I did actually find out while I was at drinks for my birthday that my dog died.
Oh dear.
So that was
very good.
That was a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
It was like everyone at home had like agreed not to tell me that the dog died on my birthday. Except then like, you know, it's like when one person tells someone and then that kind of gets carried forward, and like they also don't get told, by the way, Aurelia doesn't know. So it was like I got sent like a message of like, I'm so sorry to hear.
Oh, that's a bit...
While I was out, and I like looked, and it's like I just like looked across to my friend and I was like, I'm pretty sure my dog just died. She was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, you know what? That's not a right now problem. That's like, I deal with that tomorrow. But yes, no. So I was 21, 22, which was great. I don't know. Like there was like a lot of just like learning to be like really like satisfied with my own company as well. Growing up, I like would go to work with my mum until like an embarrassing age. Like in school holidays, I think still probably in year 9, I would go to work with mum.
That's not so much embarrassing, but
well, like yeah, in terms of like I was like able to like look after myself at that age, but I would just call her every hour, and she's like, "This is really annoying," and it was like I prefer to be talking to people and like having company, and so I would just go into work with her, and I'd just sit in the corner and do my work, and then chat to the people in her office and go out for lunch with them. And so like it's like you take that to then like there would be days where I didn't speak to anyone. That
would be hard.
At all. So that was like I think like I knew that going into it. I was like, oh, okay, this is something that I'm gonna have to navigate. And I did, and it wasn't the end of the world by any means. And I like FaceTimed people a lot still.
Did that feel like you needed, do you feel like you were trapped in your own, like where you were living, or?
At times, I think probably the bigger feeling that I had was when I just actually did want to stay at home. And then I was like, but I'm in London.
Yeah.
It's like I'm
go to a museum.
Yeah, I was like I'm living in London, and so even though I really just feel like I want to stay at home today, I should leave and I should go and make the most of it, because like when do you get this opportunity?
Why did you want to stay at home?
Oh, like if I was just like tired.
Okay.
Sometimes I was like, oh my goodness, I'm like so tired, or like I can't, like if it was just like bucketing.
Oh, it's a lot of rain.
And I was like, I don't really want to like leave, or if like kind of like depending on the time of the day, I was like, oh, if there's like a friend from home that I haven't spoken to and I know that they're going to be available at this time of the day to talk, I'd probably just prefer to do this than like go and like go to the V&A museum for the 7th time. So like there was that too. So it didn't happen all the time where I was like, I just want to stay at home. But if I'd had like a particularly hectic week as well with like assessments, and I was just like, I just want to like relax.
I can understand that.
And do nothing. I just want a bit of bed rot time. But then I was like, well, no, you're in London. Get up and do something. Go for a walk. But Yes. That was...
Well, I was just going to ask, so when did you come back?
I came back on the 21st of January. 22nd of January?
This year?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I was meant to come back a week later, but I moved my flight forward.
Why?
Well, so I'd been traveling for 6 weeks after I left London.
Right.
I went to Budapest,
and
then I went to Poland. And I don't know if you know Sam Poppet. Do you know Sam Poppet?
No, sorry.
He's at Late Night. He's amazing. We love him so much. Me and him went to Poland together. So we went to Krakow. So I met up with him there, which was just so much fun. And then from Poland, I did a night in Berlin because I'd gone to Germany like 4 times and never been to Berlin.
I like Berlin.
Yeah, it was cool. And I actually like ran into one of my CBS friends from Sydney.
Wow.
Just like ran into him at a Christmas market, which
Crazy.
Was insane. And then I did my one night in Berlin, and then I went and stayed with my host family for 2 weeks.
Oh,
and
of course.
Did Christmas with them, which is beautiful.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
What's a German or European Christmas like compared to ours?
Okay, well, I actually unfortunately got really sick.
Oh no.
On Christmas Eve, which is when they celebrate Christmas. So they celebrate Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve morning, we like went for a walk, which was lovely. It was snowing. It was beautiful. And then you have dinner together and you sing some carols after dinner, and you do like presents then.
Someone play the piano?
They didn't play. I think they played guitar.
Okay. But
it depends. But I was like unable to move downstairs in the basement by this point. I made it through dinner, and then like there was a switch, and I just like actually couldn't move after that. I had like the worst fever.
No.
It was like genuinely terrible, and it happened so quickly. But up until that point, it was delightful. And then normally, yeah, so you do the presents on Christmas Eve, and then like on the 25th, you like go to church in the morning.
Yeah.
Which is cute. And so it's very nice. And there's a lot of Christmas markets. I did a lot of Christmas markets while I was in Europe, which was great, but like they are all the same.
Yeah. I think I remember experiencing that once.
Yeah. But definitely like the ones that I went to in Germany that were like small and local village markets were really cute. And I don't know, what else did I do while I was there? I spent New Year's Eve in Innsbruck in Austria. So her sister's best friend had moved to Austria for uni. And so like there was a bunch of us, there was like 8 of us that went and had dinner together at New Year's Eve at their apartment. And then like we all crashed in this like 1-bedroom place.
Wow.
Which was chaos, but...
Would have been a good sleep.
Yeah, on the floor.
Yeah.
On the floor. And so that was fun. And then I also like hiked up a mountain and stayed in a hut while I was there.
That sounds funny.
Yeah. Which like it was like a 2-hour hike up a mountain in snow in dark because we left too late to get to this hut where there's electricity for lights, and that's it. The only running water was like a spring outside, and again it's freezing, so it's like mostly frozen with just like this tiny like drip of like running water. So that was really cool, but I was there with my host family and like my host dad's brother and his kids. So we played some games, we ate some food, made some fondue, which was delicious. And then after Germany, I went to Norway, and I spent a couple nights in Oslo, and then I went to Bergen, and my friend, again, who I went to Cambridge with, came and met me in Bergen, and we did Bergen, which was awesome. It was much better than Oslo. I think Oslo was a bit of a sack, in my opinion.
Sack? What do you mean
sack? Well, like sack it off. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it again. Yeah. And that was just because it was like ridiculously cold.
Yeah.
It was like minus 17 degrees.
Wow.
And the sun set at 1:15.
Wow. And 1:15 a.m.
Like in the afternoon, the sun set.
Yeah, because of winter.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. Which was
so early.
So early. And I was just like, there's like what do I do? What do I do in this freeze? Like, I remember my first morning in Oslo, I like went to get a cinnamon bun, like a cinnamon scroll, because like that's a thing there.
Okay.
and a coffee, and I like got it, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like I'll walk around and I'll find somewhere to sit and eat it. And then I like went to go to this park, but that was closed because it's winter, so they don't have it open. And then there was like nowhere for me to sit down, and I was like, great. And then my AirPods died, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, you know what? My AirPods are really old. Let me just go and buy some like wired earphones or something. But I couldn't take my gloves off because it was so cold, so I couldn't even search up like where like the Apple store was, or like something to go and buy this. I was like, I can't do that. I can't take my gloves off to eat my cinnamon scroll. I'd finished my coffee. There was nowhere for me to sit down. I was like, I'm just going to go back to the hotel. I'm going to go back to like the room that I was staying at. And so I went back and I took my gloves off and I ate my food, and I searched up on the maps where I could go and buy some new earphones, because I had like big noise cancelling ones, but I couldn't wear them with a beanie. And so I was like, I need to just get like something that I can just like, because like when I'm traveling by myself, I'm just like, I like to be listening to something like while I'm like walking around. And so I was like, I can't have my thoughts. Absolutely not. I was like,
I can't deal with my thoughts.
Can't deal with them. Let me find my earphones. And I like called mum at the same time, and she was like, are you okay? Like it's like 11 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I just needed to come back and reset before I continue with my day. And it was when I got back to the room that I realized I must have like, I think like my drink bottle had leaked or something on my pants, and my jeans were frozen.
Oh no.
So like I'd gotten some water on the bottom of my jeans just from like the snow, and then like I had like just like this part
frozen quarter.
It was just frozen, and I was wearing like 2 thermals underneath my jeans, so I didn't feel it. But then I was like,
that's a good thing in a sense.
Yeah, it was a good thing. So then I was like, let me change my pants into like my waterproof pants. So that was like my experience of Oslo. But then Bergen was really cool, and I did a sauna. A sauna?
Sauna? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but they call it sauna.
A sauna,
which was like so cool. And it was like a sauna and cold plunge.
I was going to say, is it the cold plunge afterwards?
Yeah, but the cold plunge is into the sea.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think it was like the air temperature was like -5.
Bro.
At the time. And so it was like I'm like walking out of the sun in my little cozies, walking across the ice to then jump into the sea.
I'd actually like to do this.
It was so cool. Yeah. It was so cool.
I'm a cold shower guy.
Yeah.
So I reckon that'd be fun to do that.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was
Did you sauna first and then you jump in?
We did it a couple times. Oh, yeah. Because it was like the sauna like stuck out over the water.
Did you feel amazing afterwards?
Okay, kind of, except like we finished in the sauna, like we didn't go back into the cold plunge. And then it's after you sauna having to put on like a million layers back to like get back to your, like it like that was uncomfortable. Yeah, it's like having to put like thermals on, and then like your like fleece pants and like all of this to get back to like shower.
Yeah. In the cold.
Yeah, but it was really cool. It was really cool. So that was fun. That was in Bergen. Then we went to Copenhagen.
Oh, I'd like to go to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
It looks like a cool spot.
Yeah, Copenhagen was awesome. I think it would be even better in summer. I was like, I can see its potential. I can see its potential so much. But it's just the streets were a little bit empty.
Yeah, because it's so cold.
Because it was so cold.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were like, there's just like not a whole lot to do right now. But also like by that point, like my friend and I had been traveling for quite a long time. And so
living out of a suitcase.
Yes, I'd been living out of a suitcase for over my 4 weeks. And then we were potentially going to do like an extra week together, and she was like, I don't have any more money, so I've booked a flight home. And I was like, awesome, cool. And I was like, I can do like another week of solo traveling, or I can do 2 weeks in London, because I definitely wanted that last week in London. And then I kind of decided, but I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm ready to come home. I'm ready to see the sun. I
came home in summer. So that's good.
Yeah, came home in the summer because I was just like, I don't want to like the mental load of solo traveling is like quite high, because obviously you have to just plan everything.
Yeah, you got to know where you're going, and it's a new place and all that stuff.
Yeah. And so I was kind of like, I just don't have it in me to do that for a week and like plan what I want to do. And I kind of thought I probably don't need 2 weeks in London, because the only thing that I needed to do in London was say goodbyes. Like everything else I had already done. anyway, like I got to London. So I like moved my flight while I was in Copenhagen. And I was like on the phone to my dad when I booked it. And I said, by the way, Dad, this is going to be a surprise, so don't tell anyone. And he was like, oh.
I got a dog.
He was like, oh. And I was like, oh, what? He was like, I might have let the cat out of the bag. And I was like, who, Dad? Who did you tell? And
who's got the cat?
He was like, I saw Isabel in the kitchen this morning. And Isabel's my best friend who works at my dad's firm. Yeah. And I was like, because I was like, I was going to surprise her coming home a weekend. To be fair, I wouldn't have been able to surprise her because we have each other's location. And she probably would have noticed if I went off grid for 24 hours. But that's okay. I called her then, knowing she was at work. I called her and I was like, hey. She was like, hi. And I was like, he told you, didn't he? And she was like, yes, but I wasn't going to say anything until you did. And I was like, okay, well, you don't tell anyone else because I'm going to surprise people when I come back. And so then that's what I did. I was able to pull off some excellent surprises.
The grand surprise.
Yeah. There were a couple really good ones. So I was like, that's great.
I got a question for you. I think we can probably, after hearing all these wonderful travel stories.
Yes.
Sorry. The first question though is, you're back at uni. Back at uni.
Yeah.
At the lawyer grindstone.
Yeah.
Nose to the lawyer grindstone.
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, and I think this is a good place to start wrapping up the chips.
Yes.
As we like to say.
Yeah. Oh, gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Thank you. I'd be interested to know, like, with all this travel and all this moving around and stuff, how has God shaped you for who you are? So, like, I'm pretty sure you're back youth leading.
Yeah.
I should know that, but yes, I've seen you around Friday nights. And what has God taught you and shaped you to be, given all this travel? Because you said the kind of stuff like you want to make sure you're in a community, a Christ-centered community, like you said.
Yeah.
But I'm interested what He's done in, like, what He's changed in you.
Yeah.
Or where have you grown? Is the question.
Yeah. Great question. I think just like my desire to know Him has grown a lot, and I'm trying to think about whether that is specifically from traveling. Probably not. Probably from traveling, it's just like relying on Him, because like there's so much that can go wrong, and you're by yourself so much, and it's just like you like fully just got to rely on God in some of those moments, because you're like, this is out of my control. But I think and like maybe this is less so from travel, but more so just from when I was in London at my church there. It was just like there was a sermon at one of the weekend aways that I went to, and it like the weekend away was on the Word of God. So it was just like looking at the Bible, and the pastor was talking about how he went to Oxford University, and there was a day that like one of his societies brought in David Attenborough, and he got to like line up and like meet David Attenborough and like talk to him, and he was like, but that still wasn't the most exciting part of my day. I was like, what? As if like meeting David Attenborough wasn't the most exciting part of your day. And he was just like, the most exciting part of my day was when I woke up that morning and was able to read from God's Word and like listen to what the Creator had to say to me. And I was like, that is just like such like a beautiful attitude to have towards like reading the Bible. And so I think like that is something that has definitely increased, I think, for me, is just like that like desire to be like, oh wow, I want to know God more, and I want to like listen to Him more. Because I think traveling, there's like so much opportunity to be like, oh wow, like look at all of God's creation, like that is really cool. And then there's like, I think it's now been paired with a bit more of like let me know Him more. Like it's like I can see everything that He's made and like really appreciate it. A lot of like, it's like think of like Iceland, and it's like a lot of the places in Germany that are like down near the Alps, which are just beautiful, and you're like God is incredible, and He has like made all of these things, and I'm like, wow, let me get to know Him and like just be really excited to hear from His Word and then talk to Him back. So I think that maybe.
No, you don't need to say maybe. That's your answer. That's
yeah.
fine. I think that's cool though. And I think you go, I might be wrong about this, but I think you go through seasons of that. Like I feel like I'm coming into a season of that too. And I think it's often triggered by something you hear in a sermon or something like that. Or because I preached a couple of weeks ago, it's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much more I could know.
Yeah.
And know about him.
Yeah.
And it's a similar thing. It's like, it's just like a never ending, what is it? A grab bag or whatever that you can keep going back to and keep getting a different perspective or a different angle of who God is.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And so what do you think how does that shape you in terms of like, does it change anything for you, or is it how you actually think about yourself, or like your identity, like you're stronger in your identity in Christ?
I think, yes, potentially. Yes.
Why potentially?
I feel like I've always had a strong kind of maybe internal identity, I guess you could say, in that I've always known like, no, I am a child of God. It's like I'm saved by him and I'm loved by him.
Especially like growing up in a Christian family.
Yeah, exactly. Like there wasn't like ever a moment where I didn't like know that and like know that to be true. But I think perhaps it's like when you're spending more time in the Word and spending more time in community as well, when you're like, how does this shape what I do with my life? And then also how am I displaying this to other people as well? So I think that's probably particularly like with my non-Christian friends from school or from work, where it's kind of like if I'm doing something differently to them, or if I have like different opinions to them, which I think as we get older is increasingly like, it's like when you think about things like work and other friendships and dating and partying and all of those things, where it's like, well, my views on that are very much based on the Bible. And I'm like, well, I just feel maybe like a little bit more confident in outwardly expressing that identity in those areas. Whereas like I'd kind of just, I think maybe like the last time I was on this podcast, I'd be like, oh no, this is what I think. And maybe if someone asked me, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to church on the weekend, or like, I think this is really important. And then I'd just like back away. And now like if people are asking like, oh, like what are your thoughts? I'm like, well, these are my thoughts. And because I'm like spending more time in the Bible, I actually know what it says. And I'm like, this is like, I know why I have these stances on these kinds of things.
So
and I
like confidently engaged.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is my identity. It's like, I'm not backing away from this. And it's like, my friends will ask like, oh, like, well, why don't you just do this? Or like, why don't you just do this? And I'm like, well, no, because like, that's not what I believe. Like I believe the Bible is really clear on this, and I'm not trying to find loopholes. And I'm not viewing the Bible and the way that I think God has explained or given guidance on the best way to live.
Yeah.
I don't see that as oppressive, which like maybe when I was straight out of uni, I did see it that way, and I was like, oh like man,
limiting.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, like all of my friends are doing this, and that sounds like a lot of fun, and I don't get to. Whereas I think now it's just like, it's changed my attitude in the way that, well, like, no, I know that God has told me the best way to live, because he knows the best way, because he designed the world and he designed me to live in it. And so it's like, if I'm not doing that, then I'm settling for less than what God has planned for me. And so I'm like, no, why would I want to do this? And so I think I'm just, more bold in that, and like have a stronger identity of like, God's got such a good plan and a good design for like how we're meant to live. And I don't want to like sell myself short
and compromise
on that kind of like way of.
Oh, that's interesting. So maybe you were sometimes compromising beforehand.
I'm
not trying to.
Yeah, I think
call you out on it.
Even if I wasn't, I just think I viewed it as like limiting, or like, oh man, that sucks. Like, oh, I like that would be, it'd be really cool to just be able to like go to a party on a Friday night with my friends and drink, because they have all the fun stories of things that happen. Or it's like, you know, they'll go to these different events and they're all getting high, and I'm like, oh wow, like that seems like they're having so much fun, and like I wish I could do that, but like obviously I won't do that because like I'd feel guilty doing that, and like maybe my parents would get me in trouble, and it was kind of like that, like like look, I probably won't do it because it's like I know it's wrong, but like I wish I could. Whereas now it's like, well, no, I think like it's actually like a really, it's like it would be doing a disservice, I think, to myself to kind of like maybe do some of those things, and I just like am able to like rejoice a little bit more in
the freedoms that God gives
the
you.
freedom that Christ brings. Yeah. So I think, yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
A very encouraging answer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, as we wrap up the chips, for being on this podcast.
Oh.
But before we fully wrap up the chips, we were discussing beforehand that you have been on before, but you do not have a badge.
Yay.
So given that we have 2 different types, you can have one for each episode.
Oh my gosh.
So you can have the black one and you can have the yellow one.
Yay. Wow.
Okay.
Like
congratulations, 2 episodes on Chip Lunch. One badge for each.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to
put them in the bin.
I don't really know what I'm going to do with them, but I'll find something.
Put them on your uni bag.
Yeah. It's like a leather handbag.
I can't put a pin in it.
Yeah. I'll find something.
People put it on hats. It's all right. You can do whatever you want with them.
Straight to the pool room.
Straight to the pool room. That's it. That's a good place to put it. Well, thank you, Aurelia. It's been great to have you on. Thank you for coming on for a second time
it's
and sharing how God's changed. We say Jesus changes everything.
Jesus changes everything.
Still changing.
Yeah.
Still changing me, still changing you. I think it's been really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone listening and watching.
Yes.
Oh, and you can't
just
watch
listening.
it.
Thanks.
We'll put it on YouTube, but it'll just be a still photo. But we'll put the audio on it too.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gorgeous. Great. Thanks.
I don't know if you're calling me gorgeous.
just
the vibes.
Just the vibes.
Gorgeous vibes.
Yeah, gorgeous vibes.
Yes, thank you very much, Aurelia. And as always, we finish it one way.